Tonight on CTV News at 6. The trade war between Canada and the U.S. escalates with new tariffs in place.
It brings more uncertainty. It crushes consumer confidence.
We'll have the latest on how Northerners are feeling here at home. Plus, one of the Dion quintuplets has passed away.
Well, it's a story that has to be shared with the rest of the world. People seem to forget.
North Bay and the country stop to remember the life of Cecile Dion. And Premier Doug Ford talks northern highways.
And we drove all through the north during the election. Snow was coming down. We had a pretty heavy winter. It's terrifying.
When asked, he says he wouldn't mind seeing divided highways on both 11 and 17.
CTV News at 6 with Tony Rima and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Tony is off. We begin with more on the escalating trade war between Canada and the United States. There is now a 35% levy on all goods not covered under the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade agreement. Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney has released a statement in response to the new levies. It says the PM is disappointed in the U.S. action and says Canada remains committed to the U.S.-Canada-Mexico trade agreement. The statement also points out that while the U.S. is justifying the tariffs on the basis of the cross-border flow of fentanyl, Canada accounts for only 1% of U.S. fentanyl imports and has been working intensively to further reduce those volumes. The impact of tariffs has already been felt in Sault Ste. Marie, where steel tariffs have now doubled, but not everyone is upset. A deal was not reached. CTV's Corey Nordstrom explains.
It's now August 1st, and Donald Trump has followed through on his threat to increase tariffs on countries that failed to come to terms on a new deal with the United States before his imposed deadline. While officials in Sault Ste. Marie aren't happy with the new 35% tariffs, the lack of agreement isn't viewed as all bad.
Yeah, I think the only thing worse than not having a deal would be having a bad deal.
To be honest with you, even if a deal was signed last night or today, who's to say what we wake up to next week?
The Sault's mayor notes that coming to a deal with the United States as quick as possible is imperative, but it can't come at the cost of selling the farm, and Algoma Steel's interests are top of mind.
We need a deal that's going to, for Sault Ste. Marie's perspective, we need a deal that's going to reduce the tariffs on steel and aluminum, hopefully to zero. But at the very least to a level that the steel plant says makes them economically viable.
In a statement to CTV News, Algoma Steel CEO Michael Garcia says strong economies have strong steel industries. The Canadian government has assured us they agree, and we have been working closely with them to ensure steel remains Canada strong. With second quarter losses at the steel plant north of $100 million, worry is high in the Soo, and an additional 10% increase of U.S. tariffs only furthers the spending constraints in the border city.
It brings more uncertainty. It crushes consumer confidence, and just puts a lot more anxiety into the economy as a whole. With that being said, people withhold spending, especially discretionary spending. There's more nervousness around businesses, whether they're looking to expand or get loans or whatever you may looking to do as a business owner.
Shoemaker notes that the need for federal support isn't just about the steel plant's bottom line, but keeping a community that is finally seeing large-scale growth from turning back into a place with a declining population. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
And we'll have more reaction and information about the increased tariffs coming up a little later in the newscast. Well, here at home, many are mourning the death of one of the Dion quintuplets today. Cecile Dion passed away at the age of 91 this week following a long illness. The five sisters were plunged into the international spotlight and were a symbol of an era marked by wonder, controversy, and exploitation. CTV's Eric Tashner looks back on her life and legacy.
That's the entire family.
When Cecile Dion was born with her four sisters in this home on May 28, 1934 in Corbeil, little did she know that her family would become as famous as rock stars and movie stars.
It's a part of Canadian history.
Their births were a miracle at the time, during the difficult Great Depression, as they were the only quintuplets to survive more than a few days.
It was the feel-good story of the Depression.
This pushed the sisters into the spotlight, and some considered their birth to be the 8th wonder of the world.
And that's where they were kept.
Nephew Brian Callahan reflects.
Well, it's a story that has to be shared with the rest of the world. People seem to forget.
In March 1935, the Ontario government declared the Dion Quince Special Wards of the Crown. It was said to be an effort to keep the babies at home and not exhibited in Chicago. But their lives would end up on display anyway, and millions descended onto North Bay and Quintland.
For the public to come and see them play in a playground area like a circus act, basically.
The sisters helped put North Bay on the map and changed the area forever. The city grew with new motels and restaurants and better highway access. In 1998, the province apologized to the 3 surviving Dion sisters and awarded compensation for being exploited as children. The birth home now turned into a museum where countless people visit and remember.
We just hope it never happens again.
Cecile is survived by the last remaining quintuplet, Annette, her other family members and friends, and the countless Canadians who remember the extraordinary story of the Dion quintuplets.
Cecile has struggled with her health near the end, so it was difficult to hear that.
With Cecile's passing, the museum is hoping people will take the chance to visit and remember the struggles the sisters went through of not having a normal family life while growing up.
It's a sad day, obviously.
Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
2 people are facing charges of second-degree murder following an investigation into the death of an infant. Paramedics were called to a home in Burpee Township for an unresponsive infant back in October. The baby was rushed to hospital and later pronounced dead. Yesterday, OPP arrested and charged a 40-year-old man and 26-year-old woman from Burpee Township in connection to the death. A 52-year-old woman has been critically injured in Lake Nepewan following a collision between a boat and a swimmer. It happened just before 11 this morning. Police say the woman was swimming in open water and appears to have been struck by a boat. The victim has what's being described as significant injuries. We're following this story and we'll bring you the latest as more develops. Well, time for our first check on weather. Let's go to CTV's Rick Wyman in the Weather Center tonight. And Rick, lots of people hitting the highways this weekend and hoping for decent weather.
I don't know if they'll be able to endure the smoke or escape the smoke. That advisory by Environment Canada for this afternoon, late this evening, and continuing into tomorrow's systems map. We also have some precipitation to deal with at times tomorrow. Chance of showers, risk of a thunderstorm, and high humidex readings. Some sun and clouds, some sunny skies, and warmer temperatures. We've got a little bit of everything just in time for the long weekend. And of course, Ian, very difficult time for some people because there's traffic. And the thing is, the heat tomorrow with the humidex readings and what have you, if you're traveling south, east, or west, be patient. Take your time and have fun on the road. Ian, back to you.
That's right, Rick, and keep those air conditioners on. Thanks so much. There's more to come on CTV News. For now, let's go to a live shot of Lake Nipissing in North Bay. This shot coming courtesy of the city. It's bound to be a busy weekend this weekend with all the tourists now heading our way. We'll have more on what they can expect with Rick coming up. Stay with us. You're watching CTV Northern Ontario.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
There appears to be progress on 4-laning the final stretch of Highway 69 between Sudbury and Toronto. As it stands now, roughly 68 kilometers of the highway from Henvey Inlet First Nation to Nobel has yet to be done. While at a news conference in Thunder Bay yesterday, Premier Ford was asked about 4-laning all of Highway 11 and 17 instead of the area they focused on near the Manitoba border. Ford tells reporters he's all for it.
We're spending $200 billion on infrastructure, spending a fortune on roads and highways. I think it's up to $35 billion. But I'm all in, and I want to make sure our highways are safe. It's treacherous, especially not just here, but also down by. Have you ever went from Sudbury down to the city? like that 2-lane, that was like white knuckled driving down there, and like it transports off by 2 inches and you're done. So we made an agreement with 3 First Nations communities. We've bought their piece of property, so we're going to be twinning that, which we made the announcement. So we're going to get that done. My goal is to make sure our highways are safe. And, you know, a message to the people in the city, you have no clue until you come up to the north and you drive in the winter. And we drove all through the north during the election. Snow was coming down. We had a pretty heavy winter. It's terrifying.
Ford went on to tell reporters Northern Ontario winters is something you have to see firsthand to appreciate. No word yet on when we can expect work to start, but he says Minister Rickford has been on him to make sure the project finishes. Provincial police seized more than $16,000 in cash and drugs in Cobalt yesterday. Police say they searched a home on Lang Street yesterday and seized cocaine, fentanyl pills, and cash. 3 people are facing charges. 2 are from Cobalt and a 20-year-old from the Toronto area. The Sudbury business has been shut down for the 3rd time in less than a year by local police. Shroomies has opened twice before in different locations near Sudbury's downtown. In November, police explained to the owners that psilocybin is illegal to sell and the owners closed down their store. Then in April, the shop reopened and police conducted a drug investigation which led to the arrest of 2 employees and the seizure of more than $16,000 in psilocybin products July 2nd. Yesterday, police searched the business again and arrested another employee, seizing $6,000 in product. A personal support worker in Sudbury has been charged with theft after getting caught on an in-home security camera. Police were contacted July 25th about a robbery in progress at a private home. They went to the home. The video caught the 59-year-old PSW opening the client's safe. They were arrested and charged with theft under $5,000 and possession of property obtained by crime. You could read more on this story and other news stories on our website at CTVNewsNorthernOntario.ca. Vokey Strickland residents heard firsthand last night in a special council meeting about the emergency funding from the province to keep it afloat in the interim. People were encouraged to ask questions and hear about the response from Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Interim funding was provided earlier this week after the township announced it was in a financial crisis. The small northern community accumulated $2.5 million of debt and had said many of its services would come to an end August 1st. That plan has been halted, but the provincial funding for just operations will only help in the short term.
Just so that everybody's got the understanding that services, no matter what, are still going to be bare bones for the foreseeable future. We do need to pass a budget this month, in the month of August, before August 31st. The budget, if you read the minister's letter, the minister does expect council to adopt a budget that meets the municipality's needs and reflects the fiscal responsibility for the expenses the municipality has.
The provincial funding is meant for the next 3 months. Timmins is also seeing investments for paid internships from the province. Today's announcement includes funding to help job seekers gain internship work experience. Roughly $80,000 is going to 2 local businesses, Crawford Mechanical Limited, which specializes in HVAC systems, and Ready Equip Sales and Services Limited, who are looking to hire a heavy equipment technician apprentice. The province has invested more than $15 million since April 2024 and helped 491 people gain internships in the Northeast. Timmins MPP George Perry announced more than $1 million to get people connected with primary care physicians. 3 Timmins area health teams submitted the proposal with the goal of seeing more than 2,500 patients by adding new medical staff, including doctors, nurse practitioners, and administrators. The money will go toward the recruitment of HTE staff needed. The staff needed. The funding comes from the province's Primary Care Action Plan, which is $2.1 billion across the province. North Bay is the 3rd northern community to get Building Faster funding this week. Nipissing MPP Vic Fideli handed over $400,000 from the fund this morning. As with the Sioux and Sudbury, this money is being awarded to North Bay for completing at least 80% of the provincially designated housing targets. North Bay broke ground on nearly 400 homes last year, which is nearly 5 times as many needed to secure funding. The funding will be used to support new builds and community infrastructure. The August-long weekend is here, and that means a surge in traffic across the Northeast as many embark on their holiday journeys. CTV's Amanda Hicks has more tonight.
That familiar thud signals the unofficial start of the civic long weekend. For some, their plans began with a stop at Sudbury's Big Nickel.
It's very big and looks pretty cool.
First time in Sudbury, so we had to kind of make an impression and see it.
It's been about 30 years since I've done this drive, and just wanted to kind of take my time with the family and show them all the places I used to go.
We're visiting from Denmark, so we've been traveling. We went up Manitoulin Island, or around Manitoulin Island, and we're going to make the big loop around Georgian Bay.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we have a few nights here.
Meanwhile, Highway 17 grew busier as the day progressed, with the parking lot at McCarroll's rest stop filling up quickly.
It's been really busy out. I mean, I travel this highway a lot, and it's never this busy. It's just constant stream of cars.
As always, OPP will be out in full force this weekend, focusing on the big four: seatbelts, aggressive and distracted driving, as well as impaired driving.
What we're starting to see a lot more, too, is people passing on the right shoulder. Again, these are dangerous maneuvers and can endanger people's lives. It doesn't get anyone much further because, like I said, you're usually congested somewhere down the highway by either more traffic or by constructions. So we're advising the public, like I said, follow the rules.
For many, the goal of this weekend is to enjoy all that summer has to offer.
One of our friends has a place up in Montreal River, so we kind of do a big loop and come back down. And so, yeah, our long weekend plans are to get home.
We are going up to a family cottage on Lake Superior, a camp, as we call it. And we're going to enjoy the lake and sitting on the deck and kicking back and enjoying ourselves.
Whether you're visiting family or exploring a new corner of the North, OPP say long weekends traditionally mean more traffic. So expect delays and plan accordingly. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, McCarroll.
Let's check on the current conditions with Rick Wyman. And Rick, sounds like a lot of people have some weekend plans, and it's going to be all up to you.
I'm going up to Noelville to check out the landscape up there. You're quite familiar with that, so you know what? It's a nice area, so I'm going to take that drive up by Hager and check it out. We'll see what happens. Here's what we've got going. Forecast radar, some precipitation, so may have to be wary of that, at least for tomorrow, depending on the time of day. This is 6 o'clock on Sunday as well. Now those current temperatures, we've got some smoke. The advisory as per Environment Canada. Here we go, Moosonee at 20, Cochrane 24, Timmins 25, and Kapuskasing 27 all this hour. And as well, some cloud conditions in Chapleau. We've got some smoke in Wawa at 17, Sault Ste. Marie 23 with the haze. Meanwhile, Parry Sound 24, here we go, nice drive down Highway 69. Some of the Humidex readings in here affected. 19 North Bay, and for Dan Cleroux, of course, Coleman Township Mayor, he's concerned about the temperature in Cobalt and elsewhere, 23 right now. Way to go, Dan. Kirkland Lake 23 as well. Greater Sudbury 24, ditto for Espanola and Elliott Lake 24 in Gore Bay. Nice night there on Manitoulin Island, your 7-day forecast, and of course, the pick of the day coming up.
Shout out to Mayor Cleroux. Thanks so much, Rick. Next on CTV News at 6. We'll get more reaction on our top story tonight, trade and the new tariffs now in place. And unionized workers at Canada Post are entering their final day to vote on the Crown Corporation's latest offer. As we mentioned, U.S. imposed tariffs have risen today after Trump's midnight August 1st deadline passed, despite negotiations all week. The White House today putting out what it calls a fact sheet. The document is to back up the U.S. claim that the new tariffs on Canada are in response to Canada's failure, again, their words, to cooperate in curbing the ongoing flood of fentanyl and other illicit drugs. They also cite Canada's decision to retaliate against Trump's tariffs as the reason the president has chosen to increase the tariff on Canada from 25% to 35%. This all taking place as a federal appeals court in the United States is hearing arguments over whether the president has the power to impose the tariffs after a lower court said his actions had exceeded his authority. A group of small businesses and a coalition of states are asking the court to invalidate the majority of Trump's tariffs, arguing that he overstepped his authority when he invoked his rarely used emergency powers to impose reciprocal tariffs on several U.S. trading partners, including Canada. Doug Ford commented on the tariffs while in Thunder Bay, saying Canada should retaliate.
We buy more products off the U.S. than Japan, Korea, China, the UK, and France combined. So I wouldn't roll over, and I've told the Prime Minister, do not roll over, hit that guy back as hard as we possibly can, and that's what we need to do, and we can do it.
Meantime, Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe is trying to keep Trump's tariffs in perspective, saying the U.S. president isn't just trying to reset trade relations across North America, but also around the world, adding the USMCA will protect the vast majority of Saskatchewan products.
And I'm saying as long as we're able to hold on to the USMCA agreement in the meantime, it protects about 95% of the products that we produce and sell and the products that are creating value in Saskatchewan communities here today. Should we lose that? We have a significantly larger discussion to have in Saskatchewan and Canada.
And as Moe says, only non-CUSMA products are being targeted with a few industry-specific tariffs. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin gives us a clearer picture of what the impacts could be.
Touted as an escape hatch from some of the tariffs, CUSMA may shield some businesses, but how much? The deal signed in 2018 by Canada, Mexico, and the U.S. exempts a wide range of products from tariffs. Take grown and raised in Canada food products. They're covered by that free trade agreement.
If you look at some of the products that we export, those are unprocessed products, live animals, live hogs, live cattle, wheat, canola, those sorts of things. Those are pretty clearly and obviously Canadian.
And a big percentage, 86% of Canada's exports have the potential to qualify for that exemption. That's on paper, though. In practice, only nearly 40% of trade happened under CUSMA last year. Many exporters, particularly smaller businesses, have not filed the compliance paperwork.
And what I've been seeing is that more and more businesses are rushing to become CUSMA compliant. Something that I have been criticizing for a long time, that in Canada we have that complacency, or shown this complacency, we have had this free trade for a long time.
And for sectors not covered under CUSMA, the trickle-down costs will also add up for consumers. Take the 50% slapped on aluminum.
Any canned drinks will increase per can between 3 and 5 cents, right? This is the net effect of cost on the producer of the canned drink. But by the time it's handed down to the tariff, it's 10, 15, 20 cents to the consumer.
Other sectors like steel, lumber, and automobiles have also taken a big hit, and the cost of things like appliances are likely to keep going up. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Unionized workers at Canada Post are entering their final day to vote on the Crown Corporation's latest offer. This final offer is said to include a 13% pay hike over 4 years. It would also add part-time workers Canada Post says are necessary to stay afloat. The union, for about 55,000 workers, has urged its members to reject the offer. If that does happen, the union says it will get in touch with management immediately to invite them back to the negotiation table. There's more news ahead, but first, here's your full weather forecast with Rick Wyman. And Rick, how's it looking?
Well, the weekend is finally here. It is, it's going to be warm. It's going to be wet. It's going to be nice in some sectors as well. So I think we're in for a half-decent weekend, maybe the chance of precipitation on holiday Monday for some. This is what we've got going by early tomorrow morning around the 11. Chance of showers in some cases, risk of a thunderstorm, high humidex readings as well, and of course the local smoke permeating throughout the northeast over the course of the weekend. Overnight conditions, Sudbury 12, the Sioux 13, Timmins 12, Temiskaming Shores 12, and North Bay 13. So maybe the chance of showers and some clearing. Here we go with Moosonee at 14, chance of showers, Caphurst 13, Wawa 13, Gore Bay 17 and clear, and Parry Sound 12. Just a few clouds. Now the numbers you need to know for the next couple of days. Sudbury Nickel Belt, humidex reading of 30 tomorrow, risk of a thunderstorm and the chance of showers. Sunday, sunshine at 28. You're going to see that seesaw effect. Here we go back to the chance of showers on Monday, 25. Then we've got 3 consecutive days of sun and cloud at 26 degrees. So again, slightly above normal, but warming up. Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma, humidex of 29 tomorrow. Then the sunshine on Sunday at 24. chance of showers. Here we go again. Monday, then we've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 consecutive days of sun and cloud at 24, 25, and 26. That's a nice forecast for Sault Ste. Marie Algoma. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing. Humidex of 31 tomorrow. Risk of a thunderstorm. Chance of showers. Chance of showers at 60%. Now, if you're a betting person, like my good friend Pat Laframboise here at the station, he'd like those odds and say it's going to rain on Sunday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, no less than 4 consecutive days, Pat, of sun and cloud, 22, 26, 27, 25 degrees. So again, take your pick. That's not a bad rebound for Timmins, Cochrane, and Kapuskasing. Meanwhile, Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, humidex of 32, muggy tomorrow. Sunday, sunshine at 26. Chance of showers on Monday at 24. Another 24-degree day on Tuesday. But again, you've got that nice stretch of sun and cloud or sunny skies, slightly above normal by Thursday and Wednesday. And of course, Friday going up all the way to 28. So again, some warmer weather coming our way to kick off August, and a lot of people are going to like that. We're just hoping for some consistency. Now I'm even hearing comments about the lack of rain in the Northeast. A lot of people saying, Rick, it's getting kind of dry outside. What are you going to do about it? Okay, here we go with the risk of a thunderstorm in North Bay, West Nipissing. Chance of showers, humidex at 31, a muggy day tomorrow. Sunday, sunshine 28. Monday, chance of showers at 24. Tuesday, 26. More of the same Wednesday. And Thursday at 25. All sun and cloud. Normally you're sitting at 25 for this time of the year. Ta-da! The pick of the day. I give you, great shot here, courtesy of Cadence Cooper. Mystic Lake, northwest of Sudbury. This is the setting sun. And again, Cadence, great shot there. Perhaps we'll be able to run your pick of the day coming up in just a couple of days after we get through the long weekend. So keep me in mind, will you? Just tell me where you're shooting that photo. Stick around. Dion has more news coming up after the break.
With the Blue Jays flying high, baseball fever is hitting sports fans across the country. The team's success has inspired a Toronto painter to create a giant mural that has completely transformed a parkade in the city's Yorkville neighborhood. CTV's Jessica Smith talked to the elusive artist behind it.
Art is in the eye of the beholder. And with this art, you'll need a bird's eye view to truly take it all in.
Have painted surfaces globally around the world, and also very blessed many locations in Toronto, and then leading us to where we're currently standing, my largest piece to date.
Toronto-based artist Birdo, who likes to keep his identity a secret, draws his own unique avian look as a nod to his art. He's creating a 26,000 square foot mural on the top of the Cumberland Parkade.
When I mocked it up, I usually know this, I was just like, that's it. Let's go. Let's challenge ourselves, which it's been. But it's sort of just, it's taking shape as we go.
The concept, a shout out to a bird synonymous with the city and the Major League Baseball franchise in Toronto.
In his practice, he always uses different kinds of animals. And in this particular case, it's a blue jay.
As I was doing concepts, I've been saying, I just think the blue jay is an unofficial mascot of our city.
The large-scale mural is a kickoff of the Yorkville Murals Festival and its theme of no empty spaces.
Yorkville Murals is all about public art. It's about creating an experience for people that is free. I invite everyone during the festival to come early in the morning. We have activations until late in the evening.
The rooftop project is almost complete and will be ready to take flight and open to the public August 23rd during the festival.
So this is for you. This is for you up in the condo to look down. However you want to interpret it, I'm okay with that.
The mural here is now a permanent fixture and will join the rest of the work that will be in the Yorkville Murals Festival taking place August 23rd and 24th. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
An Edmonton University student is spending her summer among the bees. She's trying to get a better understanding of how highway corridors impact the bee population. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
Throughout the summer, you'll find Shade Giesbrecht trekking along roadside ditches. The University of Alberta master's student has 22 traps set up along highways near Edmonton.
They had to be highways that were single lane,
ranging between 4,000 and 7,000 vehicles per day, as well as next to cropland, both across the highway as well as adjacent to the highway.
She's trying to find out the ecological role environments like these have on Alberta bees.
How flowers and shelter belts, which are strips of trees next to cropland, possibly impact either negatively or positively native bees.
Each site has 2 tent-like traps to capture insects from all directions.
So we can see if they're coming across the highway, going to the highway, or traveling along the highway. They'll fly in this way, get caught in here, and for a lot of insects, their instinct is to fly up when they're trapped. So because this leads all the way up here, they get caught into this top bottle, they get exhausted, and then they fall into this propylene glycol.
These other traps will also help measure bee numbers and species. She also keeps a close eye on what's growing along these ditches.
We will do a floral survey, so we count how many flowers and see what species are here. And then within those flowers, we'll actually use nets to catch insects that we see landing on them.
Giesbrecht says her work will not hurt the bee population. Instead, her findings could provide vital information to help benefit them.
For growers or landowners, we can either tell them to continue supporting or plant shelter belts, or maybe discourage them from planting further shelter belts if they end up being negative. Native bees are incredibly important for growers. They actually contribute $2.8 billion to Canadian farmers annually. So we need to find ways to better support them.
Her research may also give roadside management better insight into when is the best time for mowing. Giesbrecht will continue to collect data until the end of August. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, near Pigeon Lake.
A Victoria woman is now able to see her loved ones' faces and take in the sights of her city 11 years after going blind. It's thanks to a rare procedure called tooth and eye surgery. CTV's Anna McMillan has the story and a warning: it includes medical images.
It's a miracle.
The miracle of sight after 11 years without it.
When I compare it to, being blind, it's pretty fantastic.
Good for you, Gail.
No, good for you. Thank you.
Gail Lane is thanking the doctor who performed the surgery that restored her vision.
It wasn't take off the bandages and, oh my God, I can see. It was gradual.
The 75-year-old Victoria woman says it started with light and movement, and now she can see her loved ones' faces, including her partner Phil, who was blind, and his guide dog.
They were kind of frozen in time for the last decade for me, so they were more afraid of me seeing them than I am of seeing myself.
An autoimmune disorder stole Lane's sight in 2014. We last spoke to her in March after she'd undergone the first of 2 surgeries to get it back.
It's very science fiction-y in my mind.
The procedure is called tooth and eye surgery. Doctors in Vancouver removed one of Lane's teeth, fixed it with a lens, and sewed it inside her cheek, where it grew connective tissue for 3 months. During stage 2 in May, the tooth was attached to the front of her eye to replace her damaged cornea.
It's one of the best feelings in medicine that you can have as a surgeon.
Lane is the first of 3 people to have the surgery in Canada.
To see them go from total dependence back into independence it's highly emotional for all of the staff who are looking after them, and it's thrilling for us.
Dr. Greg Maloney says the operations are part of a pilot project.
We're still working to establish the program as a funded ongoing service in Canada.
If that happens, he says the surgical team will be able to help more people like Gail.
What a feeling to be able to get any amount of sight back. The more the better, of course, but after having been blind, to be able to see anything is a wonderful thing.
Anna McMillan, CTV News, Victoria.
Still ahead on CTV News at 6. If you're in the mood for french fries and gravy and curds, you might want to check out Bell Park in Sudbury this weekend. More on that in a moment. Drone technology has opened many doors. For example, you no longer need a helicopter to have an eye in the sky view. But another door drones have opened is smuggling contraband into prisons. CTV's Jasmine Pelche has the details on how the Correctional Service is adapting to the new challenge.
Saskatchewan Penitentiary has seen some large-scale contraband seizures over the last few months.
When there's contraband in the prison, especially drugs, inmates are in a condition other than normal. They're intoxicated, and They do respond differently than a person who is sober, not under the influence. So there's increased violence amongst the inmate population, but also violence towards our officers.
Union of Canadian Correctional Officers Regional Vice President Chase Mayer says just under $1 million worth of contraband was seized at the pen in 2024. 2025 has already seen over $969,000 worth of contraband seized.
A lot of it did come from packages that were seized in places like exercise yards, which, you know, there's only two ways that really a package is going to get there. It's either being thrown over the fence or if a drone is flying over and dropping it.
Mayor says they are seeing more instances of contraband entering federal prisons by drone.
A lot of these facilities, these penitentiaries and institutions were built a long time ago, and the perimeter fences and walls can only do so much.
In a statement to CTV, the Correctional Service of Canada says it's adopting infrastructure enhancements and new technologies to combat the threat of drones, including intrusion detection systems. The statement goes on to say that in October 2024, regulations governing the use of body scanners came into force, and the Correctional Service of Canada is working on the deployment of these systems. In March, it was announced that the Correctional Service of Canada will have an exemption to use radio frequency jammers in institutions to prevent unauthorized communications and contraband deliveries. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
If you're smelling poutine in the air, that's not your imagination. Sudbury's Bell Park is packed with chip trucks for the annual Poutine Fest. CTV's Madison Merrier has the mouthwatering assignment.
Whether you like your fries cut straight or spiral cut, Sudbury's Poutine Festival has it all.
So it's an outdoor food festival. It's family friendly. Obviously, you can see behind me, we have 10 incredible poutine trucks that are here making all kinds of different poutines, from lobster to dill pickle to pulled pork. You name it, you can find it here at a truck.
This year's Poutine Fest is continuing the friendly competition between trucks.
I believe this event started in 2017, and we've been coming ever since, and we've won Best Poutine. So we just thought every year we might as well come back and give the people what they want.
This festival promises a fun-filled weekend with live bands, games, and activities for kids. The hardest decision is going to be what food truck and poutine you're going to get.
How does anybody make those decisions with all of these options, right?
And how are you going to make your decision? There's like 10 food trucks here. Which truck are you going to pick?
Damascus.
Whether you like your poutine with just cheese curds and gravy, or you like specialty options, Sudbury's Poutine Festival has it all in store. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Sudbury.
4 days of highly competitive cricket kicked off in the Sioux this morning. It's the second annual Sioux North Cup, the largest cricket tournament in Northern Ontario, which garners athletes from Thunder Bay in the west and North Bay in the east. 8 teams from 5 cities have traveled to the border city for the tournament, bringing with them family, friends, and fans. Organizers estimate 350 out-of-town visitors will be in the Sioux until Monday. Cricket has grown significantly in recent years, with up to 9 teams just in Sault Ste. Marie alone. But this weekend is essentially an all-star tournament featuring the best the North has to offer. That said, organizers hope to promote cricket and create new bonds in the cricket community.
It's a reason for communities to connect all over Northern Ontario, from Thunder Bay to Timmins to North Bay to Sudbury to Winnipeg. They love coming here, and it not only boosts tourism or give them a reason to play, but it gives them a reason to connect with each other, especially in the north.
You explore the different restaurants, like an Indian restaurants, or you go to a different pizza places, so you try different cuisines over here, and always you can suggest somewhere back to the Thunder Bay, when you travel to somewhere you can stay there, or you can explore this area, you can go to some of the nice beaches over here. So those things are really, really good.
We spend 3-4 days here. So even we explore the surrounding area too. Like you go to the Lake Superior, you little bit go, you can spend a family time. That's why we have a family here too. So family time, game, and make the friends.
Local organizers encourage the Sioux community to attend, saying that it won't take long to figure out the rules and enjoy the match. Matches are daily from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the John Rhodes Cricket Field. Canadian tennis superstar Eugenie Bouchard and DC Open winner Leylah Fernandez have both been eliminated from the National Bank Open, but there's still hope for Canadian tennis fans.
Incredible!
Ontario's Victoria Mboko is only 18 years old and made it through to the 4th round of the National Bank Open last night. She played Marie Buskova and lost the first set, but came back to win the second and third. Mboko will move on to play the tournament's #1 seed and world #2 ranked player, Coco Gauff. It's a big weekend for the small screen. David Daniel has details in today's Hollywood Report.
We're talking millions and millions of pounds of crab, billions of dollars.
I'm grabbing my gear and I'm heading up there.
One moment it's heaven, the next moment, hell.
Deadliest Catch is back. Longtime Captain Sig Hansen says it's as exciting and dangerous as ever.
Every time you go fishing, it's always a new experience. You know, you can never predict what's going to happen. And that's why I think, you know, the fans that have been watching this show for the last 20 plus years, I think that's why they get into it. You know, they dig it because of that.
Season 21 of Deadliest Catch premieres today on Discovery Channel.
Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr.
The new Naked Gun movie is sparking interest in the original. 1988's The Naked Gun, starring Leslie Nielsen, has risen to the top of the daily streaming chart as measured by the streaming guide Just Watch.
This isn't my castle.
The Providence Falls book trilogy is now a trio of movies. Katie Stevens and Lachlan Cornby star as the couple whose love transcends time. The 3-part special event premieres Saturday on Hallmark Channel. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The North American markets dropped today as investors reacted to the new tariffs out of Washington. But there was good news from earnings reports. BNN Bloomberg's Morella Fernandez has more on that and other business headlines.
A few big Canadian companies have reported their earnings this week, including Enbridge. Enbridge operates pipelines. It pulled in about $2.2 billion in its last quarter, more than $30 million more than it made in the same quarter last year. And the company CEO says he's optimistic about Ottawa wanting to advance energy projects. Here's how the trading day ended. The Canadian dollar is up today to $72.50. West Texas Intermediate dropped almost $2 to $67.33. Our fix on Western Canadian Select has it down to 56.25, and the TSX dropped 239 points, ending the day just above 27,000. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
And here are the current prices for some key commodities we watch. Gold up $72.59, closing the day at $33.6304 US an ounce. Silver up 30 cents to end the day at $37.02. Copper down a penny, and nickel down 4 cents, ending the day at $6.64 US a pound. And now one last look at your long weekend weather. And let's go over to the boards. And we have a beautiful weekend for some of us, thunderstorms for the rest of us. It's going to be hot, muggy, and wet likely in Sudbury with the humidex reaching 30 degrees, 31 degrees in Timmins, even though I know that says 27. Make sure you keep those air conditioners on. Not too bad. The sky should clear up in Sault Ste. Marie. Moving over to North Bay, and it's going to feel like 31 degrees. It's going to feel like 29 in Parry Sound. No rain showers, though, and into Miskaming Shores. 27 degrees, but the mercury, it's going to feel more like 32. Finally for us, a New York barber shop is creating a buzz on social media. Customers come in, spin a wheel, and receive a fun haircut based on where it lands. People are traveling from all over for the unique experience. Those who compete get the chance to win a new bike and play for cash. The only catch with the wheel is simple. You can only spin once, and you have to agree to be recorded for social media. And wherever it lands, you have to go through with it.
I posted it, and in like 2 days, I got 2 million views. I was like, oh my God, what did I sign up for? A week later, 20 million views, and ever since then, it was just like people flocking in.
How do you feel about this haircut?
I hate it.
How do you feel about this haircut?
I don't really care, so I might just take it off later. Don't tell him.
Haircuts include the mustache, like that one younger gentleman, the diamond stitch, and yes, even something called the reverse mohawk. People from all over are spinning the wheel. And in case you're wondering, customers can still get, quote, regular cuts. Don't know that they can do much about me and Rick, but I can't even finish that sentence. That's our newscast this Friday night. On behalf of all of us at CTV Northern Ontario, I hope you have a wonderful, happy, healthy, and safe long weekend. Angela will be in this evening for me, covering off everything you need to know at 11:30. Make sure you tune in. We'll leave you for now with a little proclaimers for those of you traveling 500 miles this weekend. Thanks for watching. Good night.
I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's going over you. But I would walk 500 miles an hour, would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at you too. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be.